Things fall apart, the centre cannot hold. Surely some revelation is at hand. So wrote W.B. Yeats in the wake of the horrors of World War I, as his pregnant wife lay gravely ill from the 1918 to 1919 flu pandemic. The phrase, "things fall apart," was quoted more often in 2016 than at any time in previous years. Yeats's poem captures a sense of foreboding when change seems inevitable. Recent years have seen the economic aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, increasingly divisive politics, environmental protests, and the coronavirus pandemic. Periods of great instability can result in a radical reordering of our societies. What that reordering looks like depends on the institutions that are in place, which leaders are in power, and what ideas are in the ascendance. Over these recent years, I've seen many of the assumptions and increasingly the institutions and norms that have shaped my world fall apart. I spent 25 years working in international development and witnessed firsthand how making poverty history resulted in huge improvements in people's daily lives. Humans really have never had it so good. And yet in so many parts of the world, citizens are disappointed, and this has revealed itself in politics, the media, and public discourse. Rising levels of anger and anxiety are associated with people feeling more insecure and lacking the means or power to shape their future. Support for the system of international cooperation that has existed since the post-war period, and in which I spent much of my career, is also waning as nationalism and protectionism come to the fore. The global pandemic of 2020 brought all of this into sharp relief. The risks that the poor, those in precarious work, and those without access to healthcare were exposed to were laid bare. The interdependencies between us were revealed, as essential workers were largely the lowest paid, without whom our societies could not function. We could survive without bankers and lawyers, but grocers, nurses, and security guards were invaluable. The pandemic revealed how much we depended on each other for survival, but also for behaving in socially responsible ways. Moments of crisis are also moments of opportunity. Some crises result in decisions that change society for the better, such as the New Deal measures introduced to counter the Great Depression, or the rules-based international order that emerged after World War II. Other crises sow the seeds of new problems, such as the inadequate response to World War I, or the 2008 financial crisis and the populist backlash it spawned. The impact of the coronavirus crisis remains to be seen. Whether it results in improvements or not depends on what alternative ideas are available and how politics evolves to choose among them. After much reading, listening, thinking, and talking, I found that the concept of a social contract, the policies and norms that govern how we live together in a society, was a useful construct for understanding and defining alternative solutions to the challenges we face. Over the years, many of the ideas that shaped thinking about social contracts around the world were forged at the London School of Economics and Political Science, LSE, where I currently serve as the director. There is a long tradition of thinking about the relationship between the economy and society, starting with the founders of the Fabian Society and the LSE, Beatrice and Sidney Webb. Beatrice spent years collecting data in the poorest parts of London and seeing the impact of deprivation firsthand. As a member of the 1909 Royal Commission on the Poor Laws, she authored a dissenting minority report that rejected the harsh system of workhouses and Britain's piecemeal approach to supporting those in poverty. In it, she argued that a new social contract for the UK would secure a national minimum of civilised life, open to all alike, of both sexes and all classes, by which we meant sufficient nourishment and training when young, a living wage when able-bodied, treatment when sick, and a modest but secure livelihood when disabled or aged. More than 100 years later, that is still an aspiration in most countries in the world.
We hope you've enjoyed this Princeton University Press extract from What We Owe Each Other, A New Social Contract for a Better Society, written and read by Minouche Shafik.